we're gonna start off round 5 right now. This is very interesting. I can't wait to announce who this elephant is, and I know it's gonna be a whole conversation.
I hope it ain't who I think it is. Well, go on.
Let's go. Kevin, who do you got? Who's rounding up? Who's rounding up the group for you?
You know, I mean, I would have been happy with 4 because this is so hard to do right now.
Yeah, like.
And the thing is, I mean, I was looking to go with a more male dominant group, but then you want to bring the female element to add that softness to it as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go really soft, really mellow. I think it could work. I'm hoping in my mind it can work. And I'm gonna go with Sade.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do that.
Off my list.
I don't know if she would work with my group though, but that's a great pick.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
You got me, Kevin.
Wait, is this the lightning round? We're just gonna.
Well, I thank you guys for challenging me on having to think further. So I appreciate everything as far as it is right now.
No, Sade works.
Sade.
Yeah, and she's used to being the female presence with men surrounding her as her image. So
yeah.
Oh well, you have Tina.
Tina
sorry,
Marie, yeah.
that is true.
But I mean, the vocal ranges are very different, so
very
odd, right?
Yes, yeah. That's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
There's my closeout.
Paradise. That song Paradise takes me to outer space. They puts me on airplane mode whenever that song.
Just her voice, just her approach is so smooth. It's just it's a cloud 9 kind of feeling when you listen to her music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's surprising live too, because I think a lot of people, because of her voice tone, think that live she would be boring or that
no. I've heard you've seen her.
She's a goosebump. Yes, I have. Years ago, and
I missed her.
I was very surprised.
Yeah, I definitely want. I have that's a must see for me.
Yeah, there's like a I don't know how to explain it. There's an energy. It's like a ghostly energy almost, but there's an energy in her voice. It's not a dead voice at all live.
Oh yeah.
And really? it's interesting. It's like it's almost like a subtle but very strong energy. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Wow.
You know which one's for me, Calvin, with her? By Your Side.
Oh, yeah, that song.
When I hear that, it's like, again, one of those things you just zone out, you're gone. That for me is like, anytime I hear that song, man, you just in your own world.
There's too many songs.
Yeah.
The other thing too that really works for my choice with her is she's more band oriented than studio oriented. They're live musicians, and that's a key element.
Great point. I'm loving this draft for this. Yeah. You're right. You're having to challenge yourself, and that's why I made it. I made a list, and I'm like, depending on where we go, is how I'm going to select stuff. You know, Makia, who's your pick to round off the draft?
I was thinking about this in a couple rounds. I wasn't sure where to put him yet, but I'm very comfortable with this, and the reason being is because I think this guy is a phenomenal talent. He's an amazing drummer, and I love what he did with Dr. Dre on the Compton album. And of course, I'm talking about Anderson .Paak.
You mother!
This guy is a beast of a talent, and I think that vocally, the way he arranges stuff would be a little kick in the pants for Michael and Usher to do something they don't normally do, or just arrange it in a unique way. So yeah, that's my pick right there. I'm telling you, man, this concert's gonna be nuts.
He's giving you a young James Brown energy.
Yes,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my pick. Honestly, because I love Shali's list right here, but that's honestly for this generation is my favorite artist.
Yeah, he's
my favorite artist. I love Anderson .Paak. I love Anderson .Paak, man. Like I can't wait for him to come to Toronto. I'm buying tickets like
he has to come to do a show up here.
Has to
see this live.
Has to. He's absolutely.
Actually, Calvin, what's funny is you're the one who introduced me to him.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Yeah, the first time I heard about him was you basically talking him up.
Yeah, no, he's
very talented, man.
He's super talented, phenomenal. And he raps
And
he raps. He's nice and trust. This guy's he's unbelievable, man. That Ventura album, Keo.
Yes,
Woo!
yes. And the Oxnard, both of those albums are crazy.
Mm-hmm. And then he had I don't know if you probably would know this, but such a fan of his No Worries. The I don't know if you know he was a little group before I think he started, or like he does something with this producer called Nas, so they made a group called No Worries. But the songs that they do together, it's like it's almost on a Jay Dilla-ish level. It's got this it is bananas. It is bananas. Like it stays on my playlist. It's bananas. It's bananas. That's a phenomenal pick. Because I literally was gonna pick him to round it off. Because I was like, oh, he'd go perfect with my group. Okay.
He would go perfect with the group, though.
He really would. So I was like, as soon as you said work with Dr. J, I was like, you mother. Okay. All right. So this one's gonna be tough now. There's two different directions I want to go here. There's three different directions I want to go here. And oh my gosh, I'm gonna mention two of them in honorable mention unless Charlie and Chris take them. Oh my gosh, it's tough, man. I'm narrowing it down to three. I'm gonna knock off one. Oh my gosh, I wish I could take all three of them. Oh my gosh, because I think each of them would work perfect in this group. Oh my gosh, should I do this? I'm gonna, you know what? I'm looking at the voices here. You know what? I want a strong voice. They can sing ballads. They can sing hip hop. I'm so tempted to pick this other artist, bro. I'm so tempted, but man, I'm just tempted to see how this voice would work with Whitney. So I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna pick Casey from Jodeci.
Jodeci.
Oh wow,
that was on my list.
I did
That's
not
round out my list.
I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, but there's two other people that I would equally choose, but I'm just his voice. I would like to see how I would sound off with Whitney on ballads.
Yeah,
I think it would be unbelievable.
I agree. That's a good pick.
Yeah, but man, I'll tell you who my other two is unless they get selected as the next two picks.
Cool.
So yeah, so we can move on to the other one, but man, I mean Casey's voice is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Bobby Womack, remix.
It's
like,
that grungy, soulful thing that you can't deny it. Like it's
and just sings rough, like you just from the soul, like it just. And then when you look at him, you're like, how is that coming from that frame? Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah. But man, you hear them songs like Jodeci. Like I'll ask this question real quick. For all of you, Jodeci or Boyz II Men?
Jodeci all day, every day, hands down.
Jodeci. No doubt.
It's not even close.
Listen, Calvin, at one point I thought it was close, and I decided to. How was it again? I saw Boyz II Men in Toronto, and then maybe about 2 months later, I saw Jodeci in Buffalo, and I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and really, really like figure this out now. And when I went to Buffalo, what took Jodeci over the edge before they even started singing is at the time I didn't really appreciate that these guys played instruments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah,
so when I showed up and I saw like Devontae, I was like, what the? Yes. And I was like, oh, it's not even, I mean, they're the bad boys, pants hanging, doing foolishness, all that. I get it. When it comes to talent, to me, night and day.
Undeniable.
And I like Boyz II Men, but night and day. I understand.
It's a different act. Yeah.
Different act. I understand why they went further. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But Jodeci to me, another level, man. Yeah, another level.
Sonically,
they are a band because they're musicians, whereas Boyz II Men is a group because they're just singers.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Don't say just singers, guys.
I'm not taking away
singing.
from...
Song is an instrument. Your voice.
It is an instrument, but it's only a single instrument.
Of course. Listen, Charlie, I give singers the utmost respect because I always said I became a DJ because I couldn't sing. You know what I mean? I can't even sing in the shower. I'm so bad.
I love Jodeci more as well. I just like things that are timeless, but you gotta have some grit. You gotta have some edge to your shit. Man, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that there aren't Boyz II Men songs that I do like and I can sing along with. But that edge, I don't know. That's what's sexy. Like, and you gotta have some sexiness. Like, and they did that. Like, even if none of them were good looking, it wouldn't even matter. You know what I mean? Because they brought that. And I think, the sweetness and the harmonies was there, but there was grit to it. It was a balance to me.
To this day, Charlie, all I need to hear is, it's been an hour since you've been gone. I'm like, stop, just done. You don't have to play the rest of the song. Like that for me, that intro for me was like.
And again, all these groups, I guess, were innovative, but they're innovative. Like they coined a sound that actually nobody else had. Like there were other acts that came after that had a similar, but they were basically doing a Jodeci, and even they would say that.
Like a Drew Hill.
The arrangement. Drew Hill, which Drew Hill, I respect them because even though they did that, they still coined their own version of it.
They
created their own lane.
Bargain basement Jodeci, let's be real here.
100%. They did. But
no disrespect to them, but
Jodeci coined a whole sound.
Well, they even created a new style. I mean,
the whole
look was.
There's like the bad boy R&B thing, because before you're singing R&B together in the sign like the Temptations, whatever. That's what you're doing. Jodeci made it like urban street, but still soulful.
Yeah, still soul. They still stayed in the lane.
Every R&B group after that in the 90s was a direct copy of Jodeci.
Yeah.
There's no question.
100%. And then lastly, before Charlie makes her pick, what KC did to, I mean, both of them did, him and his brother, but what KC did to Lately.
Oh wow.
I don't like anybody doing
brand new.
I don't like anybody doing Stevie Wonder covers because I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan. But what they did to Lately,
fire.
No, you can't say. You don't knock Donnell Jones, man.
Donnell, knock me off my feet.
Don't knock.
That's
the exception. That's one of those lyrics you're like, okay, that's fire too.
Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Yeah, he killed that.
That's my guy too. That's my guy too.
Yeah,
that's my guy too. He's on my list too, but
dropping jewels right now, man.
You can only pick 4. This is the tough
that's
part.
It.
But I love Donnell Jones. I love Donnell Jones. But Sally, who's your last pick to round?
Listen, this is just for fit, really, and I guess she showed improve, but I think she has still more time to show improve. But I picked Chloe of Chloe and Halle. I was looking at some other people, but see, I was trying to pick somebody like you see, Lizzo's a good singer, and she writes whatever. But Lizzo can dance. Like Lizzo can do everything Beyonce can do now, as is. She doesn't have to
watch it.
So no, I'm talking about like in terms of like you can pull up the award shows. I'm talking about dance routines, right? Close to anyway. But Chloe can also do that. Personally, and I know some people may not agree with me because they think she's young and she just showed up, which she didn't. I actually prefer Chloe's vocals to Beyonce's vocals, personally.
They're gonna come for you, Charlie.
I know, but I don't care. I don't care.
Beehive, man.
I don't care. But I think like the sex appeal of like that Lizzo and Chloe both do, it would complement each other. And like even the I don't know, like I think it would just be complimentary. And I think sound-wise it was as well. Chloe's also a musician. She also produces. She plays several instruments. She also produces. Her sister and her produce and make songs together. They actually wrote for Beyonce and produced a few songs for her as well. So I like them together. Chloe also has a certain, I don't know, almost like an alternative sound to her voice. It's not to me sounding like every R&B artist to me. And I like that. She has no problem with harmonies because she's been doing that with her sister in a group for years. And she's also like the one to watch because she's as a solo artist, she's fresh on the scene. And I think that it's a good gimmick, you know, to have her on. Because I think she would do it. And just looking at Bruno and Lucky, Lizzo and her, they're all very physical, but they're not like this robotic type of choreography thing, but they're all like very physical and like sexy when they move. And I think it all work together. And they've all these people I think it just works. I think it looks good. I think it hits a lot of different markets. But I also think it would work together in unison. So that's why I chose her.
It goes with your group, but there's somebody I thought you were gonna pick. So
I have a long list of people, but
okay, but I'll save it for when Chris makes his pick after because I don't want to give him an idea.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But it's funny. I'm interested to see what Holly's gonna do too after the Little Mermaid if she's gonna start back.
Oh my gosh,
I'm interested to see what she's gonna do too. Yeah,
but yeah, no, they're both beautiful, like singers. Yeah, awesome.
Chris, nice. Well, last pick, bro.
I'm surrounding everything around my guy, producer, songwriter, Babyface. And I'm like, okay, we know what he could do with ballads. Like, we know. But at some point, I'm like, I only have Mary. We need to get into the clubs now. So I'm like, I need somebody that he can write some club joints for again. Because this artist, he already produced and wrote for. But I'm going with the one and only Mr. Bobby Brown. So yeah, I'm going to close off with Bobby.
That's
for something like Don't Be Cruel and other tracks like that again. So you already did work for Bobby, but I'm going to take it to the club now with Bobby.
You so bring back old Bobby and sure.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Again, like, Shelly, he's another one. And Kevin, Keo, you guys can contest to this. Helped me take parties to another level.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. My favorites.
1 a.m.
Come on.
1 a.m. joints.
Don't Be Cruel is a literally a golden album. I don't know if it'll ever happen again. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah,
like Don't Be
lightning in a bottle kind of
blessed
thing.
By the gods. Yeah, it's just
prerogative. I mean, come on.
Every song, every single song.
Step. Yo, come on.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
And even a lot of people didn't play it, but even Getaway. You know? Getaway.
On that third album. Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that was nice.
Charlie, I see you. I see you with the Ghostbusters.
What you say? How about that?
But that will close off mine. Go back to the club again. So we got Mary that could do ballads and the clubs. And then I figured let me close it up with somebody who could do both also because Babyface did write Roni for him also. And Roni for me was a joint. That was a joint. You know what I mean? So I was hoping nobody would pick him. When Calvin said there's an elephant in the room, I'm like, come on, please. So nobody picked him. So I came out with what I wanted. I'm good.
So we're gonna pretend that Bobby Brown like disappeared on a mountain somewhere after all that chunk of music that we described, and then you recruited him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
You caught him right at the precipice.
Yep. But I tell you what though, that's one guy though who, man, if I believe that somebody can curse you and you're doomed for life, he would be the poster boy for that. I mean, I wouldn't wish the things that happened to him on my worst enemy. And I just found out in researching him too that he lost his father in like 2012.
Yes.
I was like, Jesus, like, come on.
There's a lot of losses.
That kind of pain.
Daughter, wife, father, like a lot, man.
Apparently they're working on a documentary, but I hope there's a few documentaries because I want to see one just about that era of music and him as an artist, like using his footage from them, because I feel like kind of like Chris Brown, you know, like maybe in a different way though, but I don't think people really like clued in to the talent. It wasn't, yes, he had the perfect team, but honestly, like when you look at footage of him dancing on the Arsenio Hall show, so this guy was like, I was gonna say this guy's on crack, but
no, he's a beast.
But no, there's a lot of people, even with that, They can't do the bounce. He was on fire. Like it wasn't.
And I gotta do some digging with him to see. I gotta go back and do some digging on him and see like where his background comes from, because a middle name like Beresford, there's got to be some Caribbean in there. You know, American naming their son Beresford. Yeah. There's a Jamaican or something in there.
Yeah, sounds Jamaican.
Beresford? Like, nah.
He's definitely from the Grill or Kingston.
You know?
In the background, right?
And you know Boston, like Boston has that Caribbean, you know? That Caribbean corner, you know? So I have a feeling he's got some Jamaican or something, you know, in him.
He's from the island somewhere.
Yeah. But Bobby was special, man. When Bobby left New Edition, I remember I was like, I don't know, Bobby. I don't know. And when he dropped that, like when he just came out, I was like, shit, I stood corrected. I put a question mark on him when he left. I was corrected instantly.
It almost, you know what I mean? It was so fresh that it almost sounds in its own way. It was of the time, but still sounds modern. Like it's so crisp, like that album. Like like all that stuff.
That was his second solo album. You guys know that, right?
The second?
Don't Be Cool. Yeah. That was the second. The first one was a Girlfriend album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he put in the time. He just had to
put in the time, man.
The right teams, the right
writers.
Teams.
I was gonna say that.
He was Chris Brown. He owned the bad boy image as well, and time. Don't Be Cruel, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I feel like somebody threw a hex on him, man, because you're not supposed to close it out like that. That's
too much pain. And most people can't come back from that.
Like that was too much, man.
But it's crazy that this is the last thing I want to add really quickly is like when I look at New Edition and they are like legendary, they're a monster. And I always look at, and I've told this to you, Chris, before too, of like with Ralph Tresvant, because he was the quote unquote leader of that group. But outside of New Edition, he had probably the weakest solo career out of everybody, right? Because Bobby Brown, monster. Johnny Gill, monster. BBD, monster. You know what I mean? But Ralph Tresvant, it was all right.
Sensitivity. I know. I love that song.
Oh, I love Sensitivity. I love Sensitivity.
I didn't really have that.
I love Sensitivity and money can't buy love or whatever like that. I love those.
That was amazing. I love that song.
But you know what got him with me though, with Ralph Tresvant, and again coming from a DJ's background, right? Where Tresvant didn't get where like the other guys did with me is he didn't touch me in the clubs.
Yeah,
his songs to me were warm-ups.
Yeah, and he needed
they're soft songs. Yeah. They weren't like bangers.
And that was a mistake, right? That was a mistake because the two soft songs were good, but I think as a producer, even though I'm not a producer, but I have that mind of a producer, when you have a voice like that, you need to balance it with some hard tracks. It's like Aaliyah. Aaliyah shouldn't just be having a bunch of wispy soft songs. Like it's not gonna work.
You can't. Yeah.
You have to have some punchy, like edgy kind of like beats to balance that voice.
Yeah,
it can't just all be mushy. Like I don't think it will work for very long.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think that was a mistake. I mean, the songs that they led with, they were good, but they needed to contrast that at some point.
He needed some Aaron Hall beats. That's what he needed.
Something.
1 o'clock. Back in those days, 1 o'clock at the club.
Bangers.
The night's over.
You weren't paying Ralph Tresvant after 12 something.
unless you like the taste of bottles in your head. You know what I mean? I'm never working at the club again.
even Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had that voice, but he had a couple soft songs, but they were like dark. The soft songs were like dark. You know what I mean? And he had these like.
But he also had like the Dirty Diana and that kind of stuff.
Bad like, and criminal all this stuff. Yeah. Right.
You can do that.
He mix it up.
No.
You need your man in the mirror, then you got your Dirty Diana. Like it's the soft and the hard. Like gotta mix it up.
I guess they kind of go together, a mirror and Dirty Diana when you think about it.
He did
that's a different show.
He couldn't just do like the Heal the World and all that stuff only. Like that would not have worked.
True.
No.
Think about They Don't Care About Us. Like that drum beat. That's hard.
Dirty. Yeah.
It's so hard.
Totally.
And don't you guys find yourself raw stuff in there, man?
Don't you find yourself sometimes like truly like missing him Like there's times when like a track will come on and I find myself like, God, like you still find yourself years later, like he's gone. I do the same with Prince. Sometimes I'm like, I'll play a Prince track, and while it's playing, I'm like, how is he gone? You know, like it still doesn't feel right to this day.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way, Kevin, I got a hat collection. You want to trade off for the Prince one?
What's the word I'm looking for? It's real short. No. No, what you should do is I take the trip to Paisley Park, man. I mean, I got this up at Paisley Park.
I should.
Wow. I gotta Google that.
Kevin, he'll pass you a Raptor.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's purple. It's purple.
I'll keep the original purple, my friend.
but before we wrap up, you know, I know we're gonna go over like our honorable mentions and stuff, which is gonna get a little crazy. But I want to address the elephant in the room before we go to the honorable mentions. Man, and you know, shout out to a couple of my friends because when I told them that we were doing this draft, we had a long discussion about this.